One. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Red Star One-on-One. I am so excited for my guest today. I have with us Robert Stehle. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Dude, thank you
Just
so
kind of
much.
kind
Yeah,
of chilling.
thank you so much for being on the show. I know before we started recording, we just a small chat, and the people that I've interviewed so far have been people that I actually really know fairly well. Um, Now, while we've played, I think we've matched up and threw some dice in a tournament,
Yeah, I
right?
think it
It,
was a kill team.
it
I
was a
think it was
kill.
a kill team.
Yeah, and you won.
Yeah.
Yeah, you beat me.
Did I? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. That was my only loss. I think I got. Yeah, that was my only loss, and I got like third or fourth place in that one.
But I can't imagine because I think wasn't it my Scions
Yeah, it was your
against
science against my
her.
Gray Knights.
Yeah, which is hard to believe, but I think you're right. So
um, well, like I was saying, is most of the people that I know, like outside of gaming and stuff, and we've hung out. That's not the case with us, so I'm super excited, and hopefully we get to learn a little bit about each other. And of course, the goal of Red Star One-on-One, the interviews, is that the community can learn a little bit about people, and hopefully they watch these and they you have something in common with them, and that makes it a little bit easier, a little bit more approachable to go like, hey man, hey Robert, I saw your video. I like X, Y, and Z also, and hey, do you want to throw some dice and we just become one big happy family.
yeah, I think kind of COVID kind of dampened some of us playing again, or plus I guess kill teams kind of slowed down a little
Right,
bit.
right. I've really, you're 100% right with it. Because that's why I wish I would have done this Red Star One-on-One at the beginning of COVID. Actually, kind of the idea is that I got is from Mini Wargaming. Are you familiar with Mini Wargaming, the YouTube channel?
Yeah, I know of. I think I've watched a little bit of it. So
Uh,
yeah, I kind of know of it.
they're one of the main creators of Mini Wargaming. His name is Dave, and he's been interviewing other popular Warhammer YouTubers, and they do
Hmm.
it in just this formula. And I'm like, that's so cool. I mean, they just
Yeah.
basically shoot the shit and just talk about whatever they want because, frankly, they can't have people normally fly into Canada and play, at
Yeah.
their studios. So I was like, this is a great idea. Plus the fact that if we make it an interview, a one-on-one, that we get to everybody gets to know a little bit about each other. But first, I want to start with why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself outside of the hobby? Let us learn. Give us a little bit about Robert Stehle.
Well, I'm just a kind of, I'd say, average person. I'm working construction, mainly HVAC,
Hmm.
sheet metal work, and my hobby time is pretty much Warhammer, reading, and just hanging out and going camping. Like me and my girlfriend are going camping this weekend, hiking,
Right.
just
Yeah.
just different stuff. Yeah, pretty much a plethora of things. I mean, it's like I go all over the place in doing normal stuff and doing gaming. I'll play anything pretty much. So,
Right. What are your favorite? Like, what's your like? If you got your top three like tier games, your number one being your favorite game, number two and number three.
as far as genres or type of game,
Just,
or just in
just like
general,
if you had somebody come over and they're like, hey man, let's play whatever game you want, whether it be tabletop Warhammer, whether it be a board game, whatever.
oh shoot, that's oh man,
That's the kind of hard hitting
that's a
journalism you're
tough
gonna
one
get.
because yeah, it's there's a lot of them. Ease of play, I would probably say like Warcry would probably be the easiest one I could teach as far as
Hmm.
mini games. And as far as board games, me and my girlfriend pretty much whatever we have here. Terraforming Mars, Anachrony, huh? Scythe.
Scythe.
There's just, I mean, yeah, we got a Twilight Imperium if you want to spend the whole day.
So yeah, I could hear in the background just what is
Yeah,
like, and it's so awesome that you have somebody to play these board games. I have a wife and I've got a 9 year old, and we
yeah,
we like those cooperative like board games,
yeah, yeah.
but we also
Like Pandemic.
yeah, like yeah. Well, me and my wife have played that before. I think
Yeah,
we played the Switch version of Pandemic. It's on the Nintendo
yeah,
Switch, but
yeah.
we also like Ducktales Munchkin. That's
Okay.
competitive, and that one gets pretty cutthroat in the house.
Yeah, yeah. Now we probably if I would say board games, I like deck building type games.
Yeah, dude, those are so huge. I was just, I think in the interview with Raul and Ken, um, they were talking about board games, and I was like, man, like when I go to like Dragon's Lair or I go to Heroes Retreat, and I see, the war gaming, that's my home. Like like you
Yeah.
say, Warcry or Kill Team or Warhammer 40K or Marvel Crisis Protocol. But then there's the whole other section of these awesome board games. I just wish I had people to play. Like I own Zombicide, and when
Yeah.
if I take that somewhere and we play it, it's like it's always like a smash hit, one of the best times you ever had. And like I would just love to play board games and cooperative and competitive board games more. It would
Well,
be
I mean, if you want to, my girlfriend and me, we'll come down there and we'll bring our board games and we can hang out and play. I mean,
that sounds awesome, man.
she'd love it. I mean, she's a board game. Yeah, she said she was in a Blood Rage tournament at one of the conventions, right? At Gen Con. So
Okay, all right,
I think
awesome.
we're she's kind of hitting me up to go to Gen Con when it opens up, probably, which
Right,
we'll do. So
dude. Yeah, cons are the best. You got to take
yeah,
the trail mix, the backpack, the snacks, and
yeah,
then money to buy those sweet games. I go to PAX every year, of course, not obviously not
uh,
this year, and I take
yeah,
my nephew, and while he's interested in the video games, I'm like, I want to talk to the indie
the board
develop the
gamers.
board
Yeah,
gamers, and then like get them to I'll buy something there from them, and then get them to autograph. Talk to the guys who made it. I love that. I love that.
yeah, yeah,
And then get
yeah.
like
I like.
yeah, like
Yeah,
we played Dice Throne with the developers, which was cool, and I freaking love Dice Throne.
yeah. I think we have that one, don't we? Dice
The
Throne.
dice Strong is I use those guys
Ba-
that do the square
Yeah,
interviews.
it's basically
yeah,
combat Yahtzee,
yeah.
essentially. Yeah.
I've never played it, but it sounds cool.
I couldn't help but notice you have some sweet stuff in the background there. Can you tell us a little
Yes.
bit? What are we looking at in those framed? In those framed.
Okay. The one there on the top is a painting I got, or a print I got from an artist in at one of the conventions, one of the
Uh-huh.
comic. I don't even know which one, but it's basically Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man. And then let's see, the one to the left of it is a Stormcast from Age of Sigmar. It's a
Okay.
print I bought from somebody that was selling prints. And there's another one with you don't think you can see it in frame, but I got another one that's basically Skinks
Uh-huh.
from Warhammer, but Age of Sigmar ones. The far left one is Babylon 5, the cast for Babylon 5.
Is it
It's a photo of them. Yep.
autographed? Awesome.
I don't think so. No, unfortunately,
No.
it's
Okay.
not. But the one below it, Claudia Christian from Babylon 5, that is autographed. And
Is
I met her at one of the cons a couple times.
is Babylon
How
5
long ago?
is that your show?
Oh yeah, yeah. Me and my girlfriend, I showed it to her for the first time, and she fell in love with Londo. So
I'm not a Babylon 5 guy, but I am. My favorite TV show of all time, period, hands down, is Battlestar Galactica, the Ron Moore version.
oh yeah.
Yeah. What was that? What was
Oh
that?
yeah, Ron, the newest
Yeah.
one. Yes,
Yeah.
I love the new Battlestar. And then of course this is Captain Sheridan
Okay.
autographed to me from
Sheridan.
And he's
yeah,
a Babylon
Babylon
guy.
5 Captain. And I got
You.
me and Kaylee from Firefly, which is
Oh
another one of my
yes,
favorite
yes. I
shows.
love. Yeah, Firefly's excellent. What else
And
we
then
got?
me and my girls, Bruce Boxleitner, Captain Sheridan from Babylon
Okay.
5. Yeah, we've been to a bunch of conventions and gotten a lot of
Dude, cons are the best, man. That's awesome.
yeah, I got a picture of Karen Gillan from Doctor Who,
Right?
and of
Yeah.
course Nebula.
Nebula. Yep. Speaking
Yep.
of Nebula,
So,
great
and
segue.
she is shorter than what you think she is.
Oh yeah.
You look at her on the show, she seems tall, but she is really short. So it's like, wow.
This is
What-
Twilight
Oh
Do you?
yeah, and Twilight Imperium is kind of our game.
Uh huh.
This is our what do you call it? Mouse pad
Yeah.
Playmat.
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 So yeah, we
You're serious if you got the
we're
playmat for
serious
sure.
on Twilight Imperium. Yes.
Yeah, I just bought the Marvel Crisis Protocol like downtown New York playmat, and
Yeah.
it's if you like a game, you got to buy the playmat, and you got to buy the mouse, that
Yeah.
neoprene mouse.
You and Will and everybody need to stop tempting me because I'm like this close
Here's the thing: it's
jumping into that game too.
between me, Will, and some of the other Red Star guys. You don't
Yeah.
ever need to buy a character. Like we've got them all. Like
Yeah, I know. I should come down, and when I come down next time, we should
absolutely,
meet
just
up and
yeah,
play or something.
dude, it's legit. Um,
I want the Punisher. If I get one mini, it's going to be the Punisher.
dude, I just put them together today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just put them together
Oh,
today.
let me scoot. My girlfriend wants me to show you my Titan.
Oh, there you go. Was that
Proud
Warhound?
Warhound
Yep.
Titan owner. Yeah. Certificate and everything.
So you know it's legit.
It's legit. Yes, that was I believe that was a tax refund one year.
I don't know
Like,
how many
okay, I'm
times
gonna
I've
buy it.
heard. I don't know how many times over the last decade I've heard people's Titans or tax return.
Oh yeah,
Just
yeah.
the big old giant, the ones that are even bigger than that Warhound, those big ones, and then
Hmm.
you always hear, "Oh yeah, tax return." Um,
Yeah.
before the show, we were talking about some of the interests, other interests you had. You said the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is one of the
Yep.
things that during the Red Star 101 conversations, I haven't really talked to like, I'm sure they're fans, but I love the MCU. And I was just talking to a buddy of mine, the stark contrast of how Warner Brothers has handled the DC property versus how Marvel has handled I'm sorry, how Disney has handled the Marvel property, and just how, like, with the Snyder Cut released, and you yourself say you're still watching it, which is a testament to, like, frankly, you're not so enthused to sit down and really just power through it, right?
Well, I just haven't had the time to power through it.
Right. Well,
But
but yeah,
yes, it
the
does.
time or the ambition. I mean, it speaks
Yeah.
volumes. But
Yeah. It's like watching Lord of the Rings, watching The Return of the King.
right,
It's just as long. So it's like you got to make a commitment to watch
right. But
even those.
Lord of
So
the Rings still makes sense. I'm not that's I'm
right.
not here to bash the Snyder Cut. But what I want to say is
No.
that the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it is such a massive undertaking that absolutely nails the landing, in my opinion. Have you ever seen another example of just like an endeavor so big that took so long and that everything that could go wrong, you know what I mean? Like in movies, but they just absolutely crush it.
I if I had to say one thing, it would probably be Babylon 5,
Okay.
just because he set out for a 5-year arc,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like every year they had to fight to renew the seasons. And finally, at the end of season 4, they were almost he basically had rushed through season 4 because and filmed the finale, the series finale, because they weren't sure they were going to get a season 5. And then at the end of the towards the end of the season 4, TNT picked him up and he got to finish the series. So yeah, as far as tribulations and stuff,
Yeah,
Babylon 5 is probably as close. But the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I feel, is like they knew what they had. I mean,
exactly.
they got a massive comic book property that every if you read comics in the past, Marvel used to do during the summers, they would have like a big overarching story.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the ones I remember reading was Atlantis Attacks. And it was like every comic book had basically a part in that
Right.
overall story arc. And
Right.
so when they did the movies, they basically kind of did that with the Infinity Saga. Like they put different, you know, overarching stories. I mean,
Right.
yeah, individuals like you got Iron Man and Captain America,
But it all
and then
built towards
build
the
up the
yeah.
Avengers, and yeah, and then from there they went from there. So yeah, they know what they have and how to do it.
Yeah, and
I
I'm
think Kevin Feige, he
yeah.
knows property and knows how to, you
I,
know,
I'm glad you brought that up because Kevin, either Feige or Feige,
yeah,
he I 100% agree with you. He knew exactly what he had, and he knew exactly these characters and who they are. Now,
yep,
if we take a stark contrast to what Warner Brothers has done, Warner Brothers has allowed the directors to give their interpretations of these
yep,
characters. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but when you have a Superman who we don't recognize, or especially a Batman who we don't recognize, there's a certain dissonance there that doesn't land
yeah,
well with a lot of the fans. Then we switch to the other side to Marvel, and then in Endgame, I use this all the time, and it sounds so stupid, but honestly, it every time I watch it, my tears well up just because how beautiful it is. But in Endgame, um, Thor gets knocked out, Tony Stark is down, and it's Captain America. He's got Mjolnir, but it's Captain America versus Thanos, and Thanos whoops him, breaks the shield, right?
yep,
Thanos' army then teleports in, and then Cap gets up, straps his shield, he winces, and he's literally one man versus the army, and he's staring them down. And I'm like, at that moment, it's like this property knows what they have. Steve Rogers would do that 100%. The man that we're seeing here is the guy that's in our head and this is what we're showing, not the Batman who murdered, you know what I mean, 10, 50
Yeah.
people, you know what I mean, in Batman versus Superman and stuff. And it's just so beautiful. It really is. It's
I think I think part of the thing with the Marvel Cinematic Universe and basically Marvel and why I would read Batman
mhm.
and Green Lantern to an extent. Those are about the only two comics I really followed in DC when I was reading comics. Mine was Marvel just because DC, if you look at it, their characters, yeah, Batman has his flaws, but it's him. And Superman's like this perfect thing, and of
Right.
course, Green Lantern and all that. The thing about Marvel is there's always something societal, and they
Exactly.
all
Yeah.
have flaws in their characters, and they portray that in the comics, and also in an extension, they portrayed it in the Marvel MCU also.
Right.
And these aren't perfect characters, as opposed to DC, they're kind of having to try to figure out how to
How to
do
make
their characters.
right.
And I mean, I will kind of make an admission here. I like Batman versus Superman, and I
Yeah,
like
no, I
Man
like
of
it
Steel.
too.
I love those movies. I mean, those were
Yeah, I like them. I like
and
them.
Ben
Yeah.
Affleck as Batman. I liked him before
Hmm.
in Batman versus Superman, but watching the Snyder cut, I mean, he is Batman. I mean, in the Snyder cut, I feel he is Batman.
I completely agree, and I'm not
So,
trying to. I'm saying there's a stark difference
oh yeah,
in the Zack Snyder obviously had an interpretation that was foreign to the, especially with
yeah,
Superman. Well, an
yeah,
introspective Superman who was, for all intents and purposes, traumatized by his father. Literally, is like, I know you can save me, but don't. Right, like, and he's with the tornado. I'm like, what are you
yeah,
putting this poor kid through? Right, you know.
yeah,
Um, and then, and then, of course, Batman killing all these people, but still, Zack Snyder also gave us the Batman warehouse scene, which is the
yeah,
most rad Batman scene in all of cinematic history. It is quintessential, amazing Batman. I mean,
yeah,
he's just a total badass in that.
yeah.
It's beautiful. But yeah, I'm so because we talked before the show about how much we enjoy the MCU, and I love talking about the MCU because how much I appreciate it and how much I appreciate their depictions of these characters. You know, and then as a Snyder
I
cut,
think too, as far as DC goes, they didn't want to copy the MCU, and people
yeah,
kind of writing them about that. It's like, well, why did you do it? It's like, because why would you copy and get accused of copying what Marvel's doing? So it's like they're in kind of a weird spot where they're trying to figure out what they want to do
yeah, exactly. And
without copying, or
they don't have like, but they don't have like a showrunner like Kevin.
no, they don't.
Yeah,
No,
and
it's
they
all
certainly could use one, I think.
yeah, yeah.
Anyways, your favorite tabletop game? I know you talked about Warcry. I have tried Warcry, and it didn't click with me,
Oh yeah.
and that's fine.
I've heard you
Yeah,
talk about it. Yeah,
but I will say I think they have something there that I think Kill Team is missing, and I was really jealous with the way they did it. So the one thing I love about the concept of Warcry is the parody in the war bands, and I'm talking when the war bands they release, not the, oh, you happen to have a Sigmar army, here's
yeah,
cards, right? There's an excellent balance and parody between the released war bands amongst the other released war bands.
yeah,
And I've always said that if Kill Team wanted a parody, because right now it's Kill Team, it's Space Marines have 30 data sheets to choose from, whereas other factions have like three.
yeah,
You know, but like if they released like in Kill Team and they had a box and it was like, okay, this is the Space Marine Kill Team box, and it's like Kill Team Omega, right? And then
yeah,
you had the characters like Warcry did, and then they could balance it like by buying the boxes, and it's like, which one are you playing? And then it's you know, you can balance against the boxes. The Necron would have a kill team. The Tau would have their own kill team box played out. All of them are specific characters, named stats and everything. So I love the parody.
yeah. That's the thing about the Warcry warbands, and even the Age of Sigmar ones, like the Stormcast
Hmm.
ones. They all have their own data cards or
Hmm.
their own scroll cards that have nothing to do with Age of Sigmar.
Right.
Like as far as the rules go, and if Kill Team I feel it's like Kill Team. It's basically the same as 40K. It's like 40K light instead
Right.
of being its own game like Warcry is.
Right.
Warcry is essentially its own game.
It really is. Yeah.
But you can transport the war bands to the Age of Sigmar, and they have their own war scroll cards for Age of Sigmar. And so, I mean, if Kill Team was to do something like that,
I think Kill
like
Team would
totally
be,
revamp,
yeah, 100 times better.
yeah, it's like the thing about Kill Team 2 and 40K in general that I mean, I played Sigmar before COVID hit
Hmm.
more than I played 40K, and part of me playing 40K, I'm such a narrative player, but it's like 40K. Okay, you got to buy points for this gun and this
Hmm.
and that and this equipment and this is this points and all that. It's like I want to play the game. I don't want to be an accountant and manage all these freaking numbers. It's
Right.
like make it and before when the eighth edition came out, when it was like, "Oh, we're going to simplify it," I'm like, "Oh my god, thank God! Maybe they'll finally get rid of all these freaking points for all this different war gear and just let it be like Sigmar. Okay, you can model it this way, but here's all the stuff." No, they didn't do that. They kept the same with all the points for. It's like,
Well, they do
man,
have
I don't want to be an accountant.
they do have the power levels though,
Yeah,
which
they do have the power levels,
so
which I like.
so yeah,
I
and
like
that's
that
in the narrative
concept.
world. In
Yeah,
the narrative
yeah,
world, you use the power levels. To your point,
yeah,
it simplifies everything. You don't need to worry about the minutia.
yeah,
A Terminator squad is 12 power or 10 power or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
It adds
Plus,
five.
you want to
Yeah,
add 5 guys to it, it's
yeah,
X amount of.
plus yeah,
Yeah.
at plus X. So that's
Yeah.
what's
And
awesome.
then people bitch and moan. It's like it's unbalanced. It's like
I am.
already.
I mean, I hate to break it to all the Warhammer players. That game is
Every
goddamn unbalanced, even with points. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So
yeah.
I think the
I mean, if you're
balance.
not a Space Marine player, you might as well
Yeah,
right now. You might as well hang it up and just play Space Marines.
yeah.
Don't even bother playing Eldar or
Right.
you know who knows what else. It's
Gene
like
Stealer Colt or
Imperial
Tau.
Guard or
Yeah.
whatever. Space Marines are going to kick your ass anyway because they got all the cool toys. But
Well, the thing is that it's so big and it's so run away with
yeah.
itself. But I feel
Which
like
I like. I
yeah.
like the Warhammer 40K universe just because it's so massive
Oh yeah, and
and
it's
there's
rad.
so
But
much lore and everything behind it. I just love that. So,
yeah, but I just to your point, it's just like I think the word balance is predicated on some sort of fairness,
yeah,
and it's not balanced, it's not fair, and then once people can accept that, then you can start enjoying 40K. But
yeah,
one of the things that I heard that I loved saying is that fair, the word fair is a place
yeah,
where you judge pigs. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So once you get past the idea of fairness, there is no parity in 40K. There is in
no,
Warcry. There is in Warcry because these Warcry war bands are made to be balanced with each other, and I
yeah,
think that's to its ultimate credit. Even though it wasn't for me, to its
yeah.
ultimate credit, that is a massive thing to have going
Well,
for it.
the thing about Warcry also is you have those 3 decks of cards, so there's like infinite possibilities on what the scenarios are.
Right, and
Like you
it
might not get the same thing twice,
right, but I always
so you
got
really can't build your war band to
uh
that.
and I always got screwed. Like, let's say my hammer had my best units in, and then
Yep,
that poor guy got in on round three, and
yep,
essentially got round three, and took round three to get in position, and then
yep,
participated in one round of the fight.
yep.
Always
One little
without
fault,
fail.
one little fault of the game is probably that.
Yeah,
It's like you got, I mean, dividing your war bands up into the swords and the shields and
and the
hammers or
hammers. Yeah,
whatever. It's like, and this one comes on now. It's like, well, damn, I could have used it.
yeah,
Used it on the first turn, but
yeah. And it's like
it kind
you're
of makes it kind of fun, in a way. You don't know how to.
it's yeah, it's like Blood Bowl in that way. It's like you can't really get mad,
Yeah.
because it's also happening to your opponent,
Oh yeah.
So,
Yep.
um,
Yep.
let's see. One of the things that I always ask our guests is, what is your favorite show? Which you've already answered, but give us your second favorite show. Uh,
Second favorite show. Oh my God.
Now you did express you did like Battlestar. That's my favorite show, Battlestar.
Battlestar Galactica is probably my favorite. If I had to pick a top five, it's Babylon 5, Battlestar Galactica, Firefly.
Oh wow, yeah, those are.
Um,
Well, I haven't seen Battlestar, but Galactica and Firefly are awesome.
yeah. Oh, what? There's two more. I need two more.
Oh no, no, you don't.
I'm watching Ozark right now on Netflix, and
I
that
need to
show is
watch
just
that.
crazy as hell.
Have you seen The Witcher on Netflix?
Yes, yes, I have watched The Witcher.
Yeah,
I've watched Stranger Things.
that's good too.
COVID, and my girlfriend opened that up for me. I've been watching. I watched Tiger King too. It's like, oh my god,
I
train
think
wreck.
all of
But
America in that week watched Tiger King because that was like the week, like almost like nationally COVID started, and everyone's like,
oh
"Well, at
yeah,
least we got at
it's a
least."
train wreck,
Yeah,
but you can't look away.
right.
It's like,
It's like at least we got Tiger King, and then like a year later, or
yeah.
over a year later, you was your favorite restaurant, favorite food, man?
Oh, Mexican food, hands down.
Hell yeah, I just had some Mama Margie's
Favorite
tonight.
restaurant, I guess in San Antonio, I always go to Tinka Taco or Mamacita's
Yeah,
is probably my two
T-
favorites.
Tinka Taco, they giant tacos, love it.
That I like their carne asada.
Carne guisada. We had some Mama Margie's tonight. I got the cheese enchiladas and the carne guisada, or carne G as we call it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
all day, every day. Uh,
I actually had carne asada tacos for lunch today from Tinka Taco.
there's nothing wrong with that. Do you live near
No,
Tinka Taco?
huh?
Do you live near one?
Um, my work is near one.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What's and your favorite movie?
Oh, favorite movie. Oh man, Apocalypse Now.
Dude, that
I'll watch that
movie's
one all the time.
excellent. That's
Oh,
excellent.
I do like this yearly thing. I'll watch something every year.
Hmm.
Babylon 5 is one of them. But if I can sneak in Apocalypse Now, I'll watch Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
It's just that opening sequence
Oh yeah.
with
Well, just the
The
whole
Doors
movie's yeah.
song and the helicopters. I was like, oh my god, this is yeah. I
It's
had to
yeah.
find out what that song was. I had to go looking because I watched Apocalypse Now when I was a kid.
The one in the helicopters where they attack the beach.
No, no. In the beginning, there's a
Oh,
song where they're playing the end, and it's like you hear the thump thump.
right. That's right.
Martin Sheen's laying on the bed or
Uh huh.
whatever, and it's got the song playing, and the choppers are like he's like over his face. They're like the helicopters are going over. It's just like bombs explode. Yeah, this is my movie. And I actually read the book that it was based on too.
Oh right, Heart of Darkness.
Even Heart of Darkness.
Yeah.
Yes, I read that and did I did like a for high school senior year. We had to do like a critique
Mhm.
of a novel, and I picked that one and did a critique on it.
There was one movie where somebody was supposed to. It was a comedy where somebody was supposed to do a book report on Heart of Darkness, and
Yeah.
he's giving his book report, but he's describing Apocalypse Now, so you can clearly tell he didn't read the movie, but
Yeah.
he didn't read the book, but he watched the movie, and he's talking
Funny.
about like yeah, and the Playboy bunnies show up, and yeah, right, it's clearly not not at all part of the book. I
Right.
forget what movie that was, but anyway, any last minutes here? We're rounding up to near to 30 minutes.
No, I'm just right now I'm playing Star Wars Legion. I kind of got into that.
Dude,
Talking
how
about with YouTubers.
yeah, how is
I,
that?
I I like it. I like it. It's a fairly balanced game actually. I think.
Because that is
I
the
mean,
same. It's the
there-
same people as MCP.
yes, yeah, they took it over recently.
Yeah.
So yeah, they took it over from Fantasy Flight. So yeah, it's I'm hoping they'll do some good stuff with it.
I've seen some 3D. There's a like on Etsy and some other places to do 3D print terrain of the, and it looks. I mean, it's right out of the movie. The stuff looks
Yeah.
awesome, like the Imperial bunkers, or like
Yeah.
like a Tatooine like market and stuff like, or
Yeah.
or Mos Eisley market. And so they
Yeah.
look so rad.
I'll
It's
have to
out.
go looking for that stuff. But yeah, I was watching YouTube. I've been watching YouTube videos, painters and stuff like that. That's my other jam. I like painting the minis and stuff.
Mhm.
But Uncle Adam from Tabletop
Oh yeah,
Minions,
yes sir.
he was like, "Here's how to paint stormtroopers easily. Easy using contrast paints." I'm like, "Huh, I want to paint some stormtroopers now." That's kind of pretty much how I got into Legion. It's like I was wanting to paint stormtroopers. So
Right. So it's some black and white. What
yeah.
what variants do you have?
Um, as far as just the Civil War stuff,
Oh, so you have
the
the
Imperial
okay.
stormtroopers and the scout troopers. I have Boba Fett.
Did you get those
Emperor Palpatine.
the Seraph troopers?
Which ones are those? Which
They're
ones are
kind of
those?
like the khaki color.
The shore troopers. I haven't gotten
Shore
those
troopers,
yet.
yeah, shore
Yeah,
troopers.
the shore troopers. I got some on hold at Heroes Retreat, waiting for
And,
me.
and so and it's like so you have troops like they're like in small squads, right? And then you also have
Yeah,
heroes.
Yeah, and you're kind of limited in your building. You're kind of limited on what you can take, how many specialist units you can take. Like, yeah, that's the one thing in 40K you can spam stuff,
Right.
but it's more. It seems to be more like early edition 40K. Where, okay, you got to have a headquarters. You got to have two
Right.
troops.
Yeah. Force
That's your
organizational
minimum.
chart. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of in that way. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like old school 40K. But the squad sizes are the maximum is 6 troops.
Hmm.
Have upgrade cards, kind of like X-wing. It's kind of like X-wing in a way. Your ships have upgrade cards. Your troop units have upgrade cards also, and as do your characters. They have little upgrade cards that you can take.
Well, are the
And they
some
have a
of the
command deck, kind of like bolt action in a
uh
way.
huh.
The order system, the initiative system, is kind of like bolt action. That way, you have these little tokens that for each of your troops, and you give them orders. There's order cards.
Right.
You give them orders, and you can activate 2 troops, and then you can draw from a pile, basically. And oh, I'm going to activate this character now, or this unit.
Right. I saw a demo of it at PAX one time. I think they were there with it, and I was looking at it. I'm like, this. You talking? There's a tabletop miniature game set in Star Wars.
Yep.
Like that's. I don't know if a game's ever screamed "Mike, buy me" before, because I'm a huge Star Wars nut.
Yeah.
I think I got a little right here next to the webcam. I also collect minifigs.
Okay. Yeah.
I got Marvel, DC minifigs. I got a little diorama at work of the Justice League, and I built like a Justice League, like what is that? They have that thing that orbits Earth, like that's like a little
Oh
headquarters.
yeah. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
The
so
Justice League Tower or something.
yeah,
It's kind of like Marvel,
something like
the
that.
Avengers Tower. Or
Well,
something.
they have the
Yeah.
Hall of
Yeah.
Justice, but this is the space one, and it's
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
I had Martian Manhunt. I mean, I tracked down. I'll buy the minis individually, or buy a
Okay.
pack, and it's like you do this thing in your head. It's like, okay, well the pack's $50, but you get 4 minis that I don't own, and so that's $10 a mini, which isn't too bad. But then if I already have a mini, then the value goes down, and you do
Yeah.
all this stupid stuff in your head to collect the minis.
Yeah. Yeah. The blind booster pack things like
Oh, dude, I hate that
yeah.
crap.
I'd rather buy the minis, man. It's like
Right.
because I played Magic for a little while, and it's like, oh, that's a freaking money sink right there because you gotta
Bro,
get the best. Like, oh no,
yeah.
no.
We
I played Hero for a while too, and it's the same thing. It's like you're buying blind boosters and
yeah.
stuff like that.
I have my 9-year-old is a competitive Pokemon. She's awesome. She's very good. So we're very
Yep.
well aware of the TCG.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah,
so she's got some good decks that are future proof from rotation. There's this evil thing for those of you who have never played TCGs. There's an evil thing called rotation where
yep,
things rotate out, and then you can't use those cards anymore in
yep.
standard competitions. So
That's why I like kind of like 40K and stuff. Yeah,
Mhm.
they can come out with a new edition, but your minis you can still use them.
right, for the
They're
most
not
part.
rotated
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
for the most part.
For the most
I know
part.
there's legacy. I know there's
Yeah.
legacy minis now, but hey,
Um, so let's say somebody wanted to run into you and get some games in. Where are you likely to be found, and what days?
right now I'm up in Austin, but every couple of weeks I'll come down to Heroes Retreat on Saturday
Hmm.
and hang out there during the day and do modeling, play games.
Yeah.
Monko's and Emerald Town.
Oh yeah, up in Austin it'd be Wonko's and Emerald Tavern are the
Okay.
2 spots.
Yeah.
And as far as in Austin, if anybody's coming up to Austin, there's a group on Sundays at Emerald Tavern that play 40K.
That's awesome. I think James Vowell. Do you know him?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I think I know him. Yeah, I think I've met him over
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the Red. So we got a little bit of Red Star Austin. And
Mhm.
then, so if somebody were to, they're like, man, that Robert guy is a super cool guy, and I like Babylon 5 too. What game should they bring that you would most likely have at the store?
No, talking about me bringing or them bringing?
Well, them bringing because you have it. What are you bringing to the store that they?
Oh, I'll bring. I've got 40K. I've got Warcry, Star Wars Legion.
Do you bring like all? Are you like the guy who like? Oh, let me run to my car real
I
fast and I'll
could
go
be.
get it.
I could be, but I mean, if it's a certain game, then I'll specifically pack up. If somebody wants to say they want to play Warcry
Okay, then
or
you'll
try
just
it
bring
out,
Warcraft.
then I'll bring that. Somebody wants to play Legion. I know there's a group at Heroes Retreat right now that
Oh, yeah.
they play Legion.
Uh-huh.
So I'll bring my Legion stuff. 40K stuff. The only 2 armies I got left for 40K is Sisters of Battle and Blood Angels is my only two I got left. Age of Sigmar. I know Age of Sigmar does. They've kind of gotten started back at Heroes on Sundays, so
Right.
I think they're doing Night Watch also. Can start up here on Fridays too. I believe they're going to start playing at Night Watch. So if anybody's interested in Sigmar, I've kind of gotten out of Sigmar, but with the hints of third edition coming up, I might slowly work my way back
There you
into
go.
it.
Awesome.
With the vampire army coming out too, it's like those
Oh,
guys
that's true. They look so
are
rad.
off.
They look
But
so
I'm
rad.
like trying to convince myself not to. But
And it's like it's one of those things where you like anytime there's a new army, they have that new army box, right? They're like a
yep,
little to get you started, and then you come
yep,
back with that and a couple other boxes, and mistakes were made.
yep. Oh yeah, yeah.
That's
Now
pretty much how
I
Crisis Protocol started. Is the boost, is the starter box and a
now
few other
that's
ones.
one game. Yeah, I want to try it out because it looks cool,
Uh-huh.
and I might just have to see how it plays. So yeah, um, a demo game of that would be cool too.
Yeah, it's weird. I am maybe about a month away from returning to playing in
Yeah,
person, and then if I do, we'd be happy to have you.
I'm not in a big rush, but
Yeah, right. All right, buddy. Well, hey, man, thank you so much. This has been great. Thank you so
not
much
a
for your
problem.
time.
Not a problem.
All right, buddy. And Robert Stehle, ladies and gentlemen, Babylon 5 fan,
Yep.
Warhammer AOS, and future Marvel Crisis Protocol player. Thank you so much, buddy. We'll see ya.
Later.